Akufo-Addo and his colleague, Rwandan President Paul Kagame, are questioning the poor state of the African continent in the midst of abundant natural and human resources. The leaders are firm in their belief there should be urgent transition from poverty to prosperity backed by solid and workable plans. The two leaders and the Vice President of Cote d'Ivoire, as well as business leaders from the continent and the International Monetary Fund, are attending a two-day forum on Pan-African Coalition for Transformation. Here is Elton Brobe's report.
Issue of corruption, and we cannot avoid it whether we like it or not, vis-a-vis investment.
The Coalition for Transformation in Africa is a broad network of experts who join forces and work across sectors to drive policy and institutional reforms in support of transformation strategies. Addressing the gathering, President Akufo-Addo said his government is mindful of the challenges facing the Ghanaian and is working to restore the basics of the economy to ensure the needed growth and jobs are created.
There are fundamental things that are required of government to be able to assist in the process. Good governance, obviously, is the foundation. But we're looking at the management of the macroeconomy. We're looking at tax policy. We're looking at educational policy. How are you forming your skills? How are you developing the workforce that you need for the process of transformation? These are some of the key and most important priorities for government if it is going to make an important contribution. Here in Ghana, the efforts that we're making is, first of all, to sanitize a macroeconomy that was in considerable disarray at the time we took office nearly 18 months ago. And the indications are that the policies that have been put in place are achieving that purpose of a more robust macroeconomy. Inflation has been significantly weakened. Interest rates have begun slowly, much too slowly, to come down. This is an issue that I will come back to, the role of the banks in the process of transformation of our economies.
Rwandan President Paul Kagame, who is credited for transforming his war-torn country to economic success, wants leaders on the continent to harness the potential of the youth. Mr. Kagame, who is also chairman of the African Union, says there is no excuse for failure.
It's really clear, it's not just as if, it is a real fact that Africa has all kinds of resources required for us to be able to move, even move fast if we want to, and there is no excuse. In fact, we haven't found justification for saying that Africa has this abundance of all kinds of resources, whether human or natural resources and so on and so forth, and yet continue to be poor decade after decade after decade, and discussions after discussions and discussions after discussions, and we go on like that. I don't find a good excuse for us to be like this. So I guess, therefore, the purpose of us being here and sharing views and having these discussions is to identify what is it that is critical that we need to focus on, and at the same time examine what are these mistakes that maybe we make that we need to correct so that we can move and be where we want to be. But
Nigerian business magnate Aliko Dangote wants governments in Africa to create the needed business-friendly environment for the private sector to grow. He indicated factors that influenced his decision to invest in countries depend largely on availability of electricity and favorable conditions.
We still have quite a lot of work ahead of us to make sure that even the regional markets, they work. You know, because, for example, now, because of lack of infrastructure, if you look at it from Lagos to Cote d'Ivoire, it's about 1,000 kilometers. Okay, so we should be able to transport goods out there. But if you are going to do that by road, you will end up spending maybe 2 weeks because the border check-in and all these things. So we need to really make sure that, yes, we check the infrastructure, we also check this bottleneck of, going into, I mean, for example, one of our biggest market or nearest market to even Lagos is Republic of Benin. But Republic of Benin, sometimes they adamantly don't allow even goods from Nigeria to go into Republic of Benin. Yes.
Yeah.
So, these are the issues that I think we need to look at the, markets. But I'm sure now, the whole thing is about leadership. With the leadership of His Excellency President Kagame, I'm sure he's going to bring quite a lot of,